to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting busy. Now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been on my haters, you could say I'm constipated. 5 racks on his fit, just to stunt while I'm in Vegas. On my body, shout out to my Caleb Young. Got the cake up, now these wanna date us. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp.
Gordon's got the ground game. It's the coach. This is the 2000.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carry from Melvin Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This is taken to the 23. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The numbers for Gallman a week ago: 12 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game, because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. Early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in.
And that's caught inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. And the record for receptions in a single season has been eclipsed.
Which tells you one thing. Not only is he getting open, he's not dropping anything that comes his way. What a fantastic season, jumping over the really high bar that had been set previously.
He's one of the best ever. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Garoppolo on 1st down. Left side, it's Dorsett. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, now Garoppolo. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Garoppolo now. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And partner, sayonara to Randy Moss's 0-7 record. And oh, it's blocked. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to a self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 40 yards. On 1st down, Garoppolo. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing is Keenum on third down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now Keenum going underneath for Gordon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. Now, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And he finds McDonald. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. They'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Garoppolo now, first down throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And they've got it here with a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Leonard Williams in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. He's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? No, you just throw that out the window.
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Play action. It's Keenum. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That one taken in by the former Bruin, Jordan Lasley. A very solid gain of 27.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Matt Gordon on first down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Bucs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Keenum. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. Then he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
This is Gallman. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
To throw is Garoppolo. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Garoppolo throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hall. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Gallman, and he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. This will be caught just inside the 10. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Garoppolo to throw. This is caught. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. Meeting the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. It's the fullback. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And I guess that's where you turn on 4th and goal to your muscle back there. Hand him the football. He does the dirty work.
I think you're asking a lot of your defense there, right? Having to make the stand, have to prepare for just about any type of play to be called. And then here comes the power right at you. On that play, the big man got into the end zone.
That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
There's Keenum now on 2nd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Bucs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Brett Kern now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This will be taken at the 10. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They go play action here on 1st down. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 22. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And his guys have got it back at the closing. Stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
Well, they didn't really have to earn that 1st down, did they?
Well, they're not having earned much, are they?
Still
back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a 1st down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count
Still
got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. A shotgun snap for Keenum. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he goes out right around the 39. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. The final shot before the break. Keenum. Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start in the NFC East with 2 teams that have no love lost between them. Washington at Dallas. And it's the Cowboys on top as they play the 2nd quarter. A touchdown pass there for Ben Roethlisberger. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Kareem Hunt, well over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run as well. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. The Colts were this close to a perfect regular season, but they couldn't finish it off. And they'll enter the playoffs with something to prove now at 15-1. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one taking just inside the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They want to step off the gas here.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 64 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. To me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Coleman has it here right side. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
10 more there and another 1st down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Keenum under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
They run it here with Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing deep here for Coleman. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he's got room. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up.
11.
Now Garoppolo, maybe a free play. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Keenum now to throw. It's caught by Coleman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down throw. Keenum. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Gordon. It's a first down and more for Gordon. And finally brought down at the 43. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Garoppolo. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Clay Matthews. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Down to the 25. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Looking to throw on 3rd and 2, Keenum. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
11. Here we go.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. The 20 was the threat.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
11.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo going up top. And got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
11.
A good pickup there at 22.
11.
Play action. Garoppolo. He's going to wind up and air it out. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
They'll run it with Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a first carry for their fullback. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves them with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On play action, now Garoppolo. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that will extend this big lead. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them.
And now here's another interception. A.J. Boye with a pick. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things?
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Offside. Defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Garoppolo again. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Cat and 0 out now as he'll kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Here goes the hot. Right 20. Hot.
On 2nd and 10, Keenum. He gets it left side to Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, Keenum. Screenplay, Johnson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard. Too shy of the 40. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at about the 31. The trot, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jerry Hughes. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. Garoppolo now. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
Like the fat lady.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Keenum will try again on 2nd down. And he'll spot Lashley open, left side complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Back to throw, Keenum. And now here is another interception. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 18. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 4.